the claims of the members of the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribe shall be taken into consideration. I would respectfully submit there is no room to say that the individual entries can be reached. It's being talked of as a class, members of that class. And kindly see the definitional, my lord, it throws light. 366, apropos what my lord the Chief Justice is pleased to put to me. 366, 24. 366 bracket 24 thereof, the definition. Scheduled castes means, it's exhaustive, means such castes, races, parts or groups within such caste tribes as are deemed under 341 to be scheduled castes for the purpose of this constitution.
Correct.
We are talking of them as a whole, wherever we are, for the purposes of this constitution. Otherwise, my lord, the moment, I would respectfully submit, my lord, the moment we start talking and we start classification on the basis of a entry or another entry, then we will be on the wrong side of 16.2.
Everywhere where scheduled caste or scheduled tribe word is used, starting from 330 and onwards.
Lordship.
But again, going back to 16.4, there is nothing like that. It's only backward class.
Lord,
Why not scheduled caste mentioned there?
Lord, why? Lord,
They mentioned it.
Lord, it is explained.
Left it open.
Yes, Lord. Advisedly, Lord, that 15.4 came later. 15.4 came later. 16.4 is earlier.
It's earlier.
Lord, 16.4 has been explained, and your lordships know that, Lord. That 16.4 includes not only scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBCs, and others. The power is not exhaustive. Para 803 of Indrasani. It's not exhaustive because the language is nothing shall prevent the state from. So there can be another class also.
Exactly.
But when we are talking of 16.4, we are again, my lord, in my most respectful submission, talking of it as a class. Backward class, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe.
Why do you read scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, NCBC, OBC, everyone is included in backward class.
Yes, my lord.
There could be others also.
Also.
So therefore, in identifying where reservation is inadequate representation, the state can decide which class to be given how much benefit.
But this exercise is not that exercise. This exercise, which is impugned, section 4 bracket 5 of the Punjab Act,
Correct.
is an exercise to puncture the scheduled caste list.
In scheduled castes, they have found that these are backward classes, further classification.
Lord.
Therefore, they are extending that benefit to them.
Yes, Lord.
What is wrong?
Lord, the state has...
The idea is to get equality, to bring them up. So they are trying to bring them up.
Yes.
Others have already come up.
Yes.
So all right, let others also come up.
Lord, there are two submissions that propose this, Lord. One, that
Why are you resisting that? It's in that class only.
And it is not as if you are deprived.
Yes.
You will still get it. And if they, fortunately, if they can make it, well and good. But if they can't make it, those street will again fall to you. Why?
Lord, kindly see the resistance is this. I can't see that.
No. It's like a general bogie of railway compartment.
Everybody wants to get in.
We have got in now, but we will not permit the others to come in
Lord,
once we are in.
Lord, kindly see the bogie example, how it translates on me. I am inside. Lord, kindly see the bogie example, how it translates on reality to me. I am inside, but for the 50%, I'll be excluded. I don't have. I'm there, I'm still not there.
The state has found on some analysis, some survey, some data it has collected, that this is where it has gone down and this is where it has come up.
No, there are
Particular.
Therefore, they are trying to equal them.
Like
there are
in Tamil Nadu,
Yes.
they have found that those 7 castes which are grouped into one category, they are 35% or 40%.
Out of 76.
Out of 76. But they hardly have 2% representation.
Lord,
So what
kindly
is wrong if some special provision is made for them?
Lord, kindly see the resistance is on two grounds. One, that the moment they pick Mazhabi and Balmiki, the classification is on the basis of caste.
But we'll hear the other side. You
It's on
make
the
a
basis
point.
of caste,
Which
which
is
is
prohibited
found
under
on
16.
16.2 and then not contemplated by 16.4. That's his contention.
Yes, Lord. That's one exception. Second exception to that is that this role they are assuming to themselves.
Which is exclusively with the parliament.
Is the
That we understood. So.
Is the respectful submission.
But you know, in 16.4, though it says backward class and not caste, it says any backward class.
Any backward class.
So there can be a class within a class as well.
Lord, I would respectfully submit.
That class, only thing is it can't be an artificial class. States can't, in fact, we are going to ask them that question.
Yes.
States can't say, for my purposes, this is a class.
Yes.
They must demonstrate that it is a class on the basis of an objective criterion.
Yeah.
What is the objective criterion? Lack of representation in the services of the state.
And Lord, here in our case, that class is identified by the Constitution, 341, 342 exercise already done by the President. And that class identified, sealed by the Constitution, given a constitutional status, they want to puncture that, enter into that, translate their wisdom into that on the basis of caste, on the wrong side of 16.2, and say, we have come to this conclusion, Lord, that path is not available. Lord, therefore, I started with this. Is this the constitutional scheme? Do they have a role to play? Is the question which I ask myself.
What your argument is that you can either give the benefit to the entirety of one class, namely the scheduled class, or you can't give it at all. Don't give it at all. It's your discretion not to give it to at all. But if you give it, you must give it to everybody together.
That's the scheme.
So your argument is that if the state finds that you have reached a sufficient stage now, then the state can exclude you.
No, Lord, state can't, Lord.
So the parliament can exclude you.
Parliament will exclude.
Parliament.
That's his argument.
But
They'll have a role
and
there.
then if the parliament finds that somebody is some caste which is not included, the parliament has the power to include that caste in 341.
And Lord, kindly see the language. Parts thereof, caste, race, tribes, parts thereof or groups within. So when it comes to exclusion, when the parliament will exercise the power, they have the benefit of this variegated pieces on the table, so to say. So they can say this part is excluded because of experience. The state will again have a role to play there. I must concede that. Why? Because they will have a role to feed the Constitutional Tribunal, 338B, the Constitutional Commission, expert body to monitor and to investigate. But kindly see that expression, my lord. It's very wide. The constitutional, the tribunal which is taking me to the next bullet point, my lord.
Mr. Swarup, the only problem is that, if you accept your argument, it will really come down to this. What is a sequitur? You always look at the sequitur.
Yes, my lord.
Sequitur is unless Parliament deletes either a particular caste in the entirety from Article 341 or a part of a group of that caste from 341, if that is not done, then the state is duty bound to give reservation benefits to the entirety of the Article 341 list in that state.
As it stands.
Even if the consequence would be the capture of benefits by the dominant among the scheduled caste.
I would submit, my lord.
Isn't it?
Lord, therefore I submitted on the first date.
So you must necessarily accept a consequence where benefits can be captured by a dominant or a set of dominant castes within the scheduled caste list as a consequence for which the constitution has no answer. The only answer is then go to parliament.
Lord, I would submit, my lord.
Really, that's the consequence. You have to then accept it.
I would respectfully respond this way, my lord. When we are looking at the constitutional scheme.
States have no power to then alter it. They are going to be the people who are going to be funding the post. They are going to be sanctioning the post. They are going to create the infrastructure, but you will have no choice of redirecting the channelization of benefits to those who deserve them the most.
Lord, I would submit, my lord, the remedy lies in this fashion, my lord, as I have already submitted. They are not a mute spectator. No. They have to dole out the benefit, they have to be funding it, and it's not as if this iniquity is staring them in their face and they can't do anything. It's not that, my lord. The situation is they have a remedy, and this is the mandate of the constitution that please do it this way. Otherwise, Lord, kindly see the other side of the picture.
Delete it from 341 in the entirety.
See the other side of the picture. Kindly see the other side of the
So
picture.
take a situation that a particular category has risen up, but not risen up to a particular level. There are other categories who are still at the bottom. So would excluding that category who has reached say a reality as contemplated under Article 14 or 16(1).
I myself said so, my lord, that fresh experience has a ventilation, my lord. It can't be submitted on this side that fresh experience cannot be. Yes, my lord.
are being perpetuated. Still, and they will have to follow the rigor of going to requesting the parliament to make changes. That's your submission.
That's what you said that. My lord, question is, my lord, my respectful response is this, my lord. The question really is who to do it.
Your answer again is only parliament can do it.
There is no debate on this side. There's no contest on this side that yes, if an iniquitous situation is obtaining, it has to be redressed. There can't be a resistance to that. There is none. But who to do it?
There appears to be.
No. I said so. I'm making it clear that there's no resistance, that fresh experience has to come in. It's an evolving society. It's an evolving constitution. There's no difficulty on that. But who to do it as per the constitutional mandate is the question, my lord.
Now, Mr. Swarup, we've almost 1.5 hours now. What is the next major head so that we...
Yes, my lord.
Yes.
Lord, I wanted...
Drift of your submission and...
yes, my lord. I was on Thomas.
Thomas, now just tell us...
Yes, my lord. Volume 5. And, Lord, I must thank my lords, my lord, that I got acclimatized to working on this. Thanks exclusively to my lords.
You play with it, isn't it?
But for that cajole, I can speak for myself.
Which page you are referring to?
Yes, my lord. This is PDF, my lord, 97.
23.
Volume 5, my lord. Volume 5. In the instant case, one of the main planks of the arguments put forward by Mr. Abdul Qadir, Learned Advocate General Kerala, this submission is going to be accepted that so far as scheduled caste, scheduled tribes are concerned, they have been given an exalted and a privileged status under the Constitution. And in the directive principles contained in Part 4, which a mandate of the state to consider their claims, it is necessary to consider this aspect of the matter in a little detail, because the main argument of Mr. Abdul Qadir has been that the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe are not did not fall at all within the mischief of clause 2 of Article 16, which prohibits discrimination on the ground of caste. The scheduled caste is not a caste as mentioned in 16.2. I am inclined to agree with the argument advanced by the Learned Advocate General that the word caste appearing after scheduled is really a misnomer and has been used only for the purpose of identifying that particular class of citizens which has a special history of several years behind it. The scheduled castes and the scheduled tribes have been a special class